like to ask our 4 neophytes to please stand for a moment. Throughout the season of Lent, at the 9 o'clock Mass, you would come and you would gather with this community that surrounds you this morning. And after the homily, we would call you forward and we would dismiss you with the book so that you could go and reflect and share the insights you received from the readings and the homily. Also, the opportunity to be nourished by God's living word. And each time you left, we assured you of our prayers and our desire that one day you would come back to this church and sit with us and come to the table. My brothers and sisters, last week these 4 neophytes became new members of the Catholic Church, welcomed by the community at the Easter Vigil. Through baptism, confirmation, they received the Eucharist. And it's the first time that they gather at the 9 o'clock Mass. And today, you will not be dismissed early. You will join us at the banquet table. Congratulations to the 4. What a glorious day. Thanks be to God. The gospel passage today on this second Sunday of Easter, we encounter each year Jesus appearing to his disciples. And there they were on the upper room, first day of the week, and the doors were locked. They were locked because they were very much afraid. Fear of the Jews, fear of the Romans, afraid of being caught, afraid of being arrested, afraid of being condemned to death in the same manner that Jesus was condemned. Fear of being crucified. And that's why they were hiding. But the gospel tells us that Jesus came through those doors that were locked, through those walls, and appeared to them. Can you imagine if the gospel were written in a whole different way? Can you imagine the greeting that Jesus would have had instead of the one that he greets them with? Can you imagine Jesus saying to them, "Friends, my friends, really, my friends? Thank you very much, friends. How many times I rescued you? How many times I helped you out? Remember in the Sea of Galilee when the storm hit? Remember how you were all screaming for help because you were about to die? And I saved you from the waters of the storm? Friends, really? You all abandoned me. You all left me. Peter, get over here right now. If you were upset with me because I cured your mother-in-law, you should have said so. And where is Thomas? Where's one missing? Where is Thomas? Oh, wait until he gets back. Can you imagine? But that did not happen. Because the Lord is kind, forgiving, merciful. He understands our human condition. He understands our limitations. He understands our brokenness. And that is why the greeting that he extends to them is one filled with love as opposed to resentment. Is one filled with compassion as opposed to revenge. Not to scold them, but to embrace them. He understands. That's why he prayed for them, that they may not give in to the temptation, to the fear, to the darkness that was about to overshadow them. And that's why Jesus greets them with these simple words: peace be with you. And that is the greeting that our resurrected Lord extends to each and every one of us each time we gather here, that we may feel the peace that only he can give. Peace that strengthens our lives, casting away every doubt, every fear. The gift that strengthens our faith. It's interesting to see how the disciples still were shaken and afraid and filled with doubt. Mary Magdalene went to them, assuring them, I have seen the Lord. He is alive. But they were not embracing the good news. They had doubts, lack of faith. Two disciples on their way to Emmaus encountered him and recognized him in the breaking of bread. And they left Emmaus running back to that upper room to let them know, let us in, we got something to tell you, it's true. We recognized him in the breaking of bread. What Mary Magdalene said is true. He is alive. We saw him. He walked with us. And still, they were struggling. And so Jesus comes through those doors. And now they believe. They can be blaming Thomas for his lack of faith. And they better not have an issue with Thomas when he said, unless I put my finger in the nail marks and my hand into his side. Because just like they struggled to believe, Thomas struggled. They better not say, hey, Thomas, you are blind. Because they were blind. But Thomas did something that the other 11 did not, the other 10 did not. He makes an incredible profession of faith that is recorded in the gospel. When Jesus appeared to the 10, they remained silent, in shock. Thomas said, my Lord and my God. Bold profession of faith. At times we doubt. The pressures of this world sometimes drive us to the edge. And in desperation, sometimes we cry out, God, do you care? Are you listening? Are you there? Sometimes we fall in doubt and darkness and despair. But don't lose hope. That's the human side. That's the flesh. But we cannot lose sight of the spirit that is much stronger, as Jesus reminds us. The flesh is weak. And those moments of doubt can turn into moments of grace, just like it happened in today's gospel. Because those moments of doubt seek understanding. And that's where we discover the Lord strengthening our faith. How many times did Jesus say to Peter, why did you falter? Or to the disciples, why did you doubt? Have faith in me. But he never gave up on them, and he will never give up on us. The Lord is always with us, remaining at our side, providing the light of peace, of wisdom, of courage, of understanding. We must seek the light always, because it is the light of Christ that will lead us out of darkness, that will provide for us a safe journey in the midst of the trials, the obstacles, and the difficulties we will embrace. Being a Christian, my dear neophytes, is not easy. I know that you're now floating and experiencing just a beautiful moment of joy. But we are to follow Christ, and Christ told us that we must carry our crosses. If we are to be his followers, we need to embrace with confidence the challenges that come our way, knowing that we will victoriously triumph, because the Lord will be our strength, because he will guide us. But yes, we will experience storms along the journey. But what a sense of relief to know that Christ is with us in the midst of the storm, providing us with the gift that only he can give, the gift of his peace. May we continue to seek the Lord's peace in the manner in which you and I share that peace with one another, in the manner in which we transform this world of anger and violence into a world filled with love, filled with peace. May God continue to strengthen our faith as we renew now our baptismal promises.